The fourth division is complete. We have all of our divisions rounded up, and let me tell you, out of the 4 weekends that we've had, I think this submission ended up being the most exciting one. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 58 of Under the Middle Rope. I'm your host, Jose Tabuada. Yes, we are looking back at the last division of voting. We have gone through the ringer of each 4 divisions, the 16 in each group. It is settled. We have our final 4, but of course, we're going to break down the results. And of course, as usual, the man that doesn't know the results is here with us. Hello, Mr. Pete Atkinson. Oh, let's get to that. That view's better. Hello, Pete. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty well.
I do quickly want to say, I just found out that it was your birthday this past week, so happy belated, my dude.
Thank you.
I
got quite drunk.
I hope you did. So I just want to quick happy birthday, because obviously you're a great dude, and I feel like it's warranted and just for this. So yes, we are here with Pete to the tournament that he helped created, helped see its final pieces, its final steps to completion. So without further ado, and as usual, let us get to, I have to share the screen here. Yes, let us get to the beautiful submission bracket. It was $1 Million Dream taking on Lion Tamer, the Figure 4 Leg Lock taking on the Dragon Sleeper, Bank Statement, and the Sharpshooter, as Pete and I debated a little bit about that last week. The Rings of Saturn and the Ankle Lock, the Brock Lock taking on the Crossface and the Label Lock, Camel Clutch up against the Coquina Clutch, Hell's Gate against the Mandible Claw, and the Regal Stretch taking on the Kimura. So I don't want to waste any time. Let's just go straight to the Elite 8 and who moved on. The Lion Tamer and the Figure 4, they moved on. Sharpshooter and the Ankle Lock. Sharpshooter upsets Bank Statement. I'm going to say that. Ankle Lock moves on. The Crossface and Label Lock takes care of the Brock Lock. The Coquina Clutch stands tall out of the clutches. And the Hell's Gate and the Regal Stretch moved on from the respective matchups. And if you notice the theme, Pete, we had mainly 67% over 33% in voting. The largest margins for the first set of matches was the Lion Tamer over the $1 Million Dream and the Regal Stretch over the Kimura, both of them winning 78 to 22%. So, Pete, react.
There's a few surprise ones, and I'm really, really surprised the Regal Stretch did that well.
So did I. The Kimura is one hell of a lock. Kimura is a heck of a lock. I thought it would have got a little bit more love.
I think I might go in the Kimura as well. And I don't know if it's just because Brock is the one delivering it that makes it look more painful or not, but
maybe. I mean, I will say that when you're looking at YouTube clips about the Kimura lock, it's all MMA, a whole bunch of MMA. So like I needed to find something, and of course the only clip that we have is with Brock. But again, I thought I was gonna get more love. I really did.
I'm glad the Brock Lock got a bit of love. I know it's the one that Big E uses as well, which is like the leg behind the neck, and I think that's a great move. I'm glad he got a bit of love. I never expected that to win. I thought the Camel Clutch might have etched out the Coquina Clutch as well. I think it's a bit like a Coquina Clutch in the day, it's a sleeper hold. Like I didn't know how popular a sleeper hold would be.
It is, but I think it's Samoa Joe. I think it's the influence of Samoa Joe that's going into that vote. And I mean, personally, I kind of like the Coquina because I like where it starts and then I like where it finishes in that sense. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, Mandible Claw Hell's Gate. I thought it was going to be close. It was just close. The only one I think I really disagree with is the Ankle Lock being out the Rings of Saturn. I think
so
the
too.
Rings of Saturn is a horrifically brutal looking move. Like honestly, I think it maybe is the one that looks the most painful of any of these, where the arms completely stretch back as well in that move. And I thought that's a significant bet. And I think I went on a bit of a rant last week. I really dislike the Ankle Lock. I don't think it's a good move. And well,
again, it may be affiliated with the thing. And I mean, I was telling you last week, I'm a huge Sharpshooter fan, really, really big Sharpshooter fan. I was expecting the Bank Statement to go over. I was expecting Bank Statement to move on. But hail the Sharpshooter.
I wasn't expecting the Bank Statement to move on, but I thought it would be relatively close.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I'm glad the Dragon Sleeper got a bit of love. I do like that move. I think Lion Tamer's got a good chance to go a long way in this. I think it's really popular. I'm really not sure in that bottom bracket now, though, because I guess maybe the crossface. I thought the mandible claw would have actually maybe snuck through there.
Okay.
And would have maybe even snuck through the last four because just the popularity, A, of Mick Foley, and then B, of, well, The Fiend obviously bringing it back and stuff as well. I thought that might have had a sneaky chance of. I didn't expect it to get beat by Hell's Gate, at least. I thought, honestly, I actually thought it'd either be like. I thought the Kimura might have even got out of that bottom four. So who knows? That got decimated. So we'll see.
So if you had to pick a final four, who would you pick?
My personal opinion from these would be Lion Tamer, Sharpshooter, Crossface Label Lock, Regal Stretch.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, you're right, and you're somewhat wrong, but mainly right because the reason why this weekend was interesting, if you were voting along, we had a little bit of history. We had our first tie in the Coquina Clutch and the Label Lock, 50-50. Lion Tamer, Ankle Lock, they move on to the semis. Hell's Gate was the one that survived the Regal Stretch, but it was a deadlock. I was tweeting out, I'm like, if you do not want a tie, put one through. No, and it stayed as is. The Crossface and the Label Lock and the Coquina Clutch both move on to the semi. So we have our first triple threat. And so
wow,
I did make a judgment call, Pete, because while we were because I was realizing, I'm like, what if we have like an even crazier tie? Because it was possible. It was possible. The judgment call, I'm just pulling up here to see what I said. I was saying yes. This is what the scenario I had. If you do, hold on, give me a second here. If you don't mind me, just for if you do indulge me for a second, I did say that if two were tied and it's a greater percentage than the third option, those two advance to the final. Yeah. So let's say it was 40-42. Is my math right there?
40-40-20.
Yeah, 40-40-20. If it was 40-40-20, say the Coquina Clutch and the Bell Lock at 40-40 and then Hell's Gate 20. Those two, the top two advances. And then, of course, if all three were tied somehow, because it could have been possible, then we would have had a fatal four-way. We would have had a fatal four-way match. So, yes, those are the two house rules that I had to make on the fly there, because obviously anything and everything could have happened. Whoa! You're seeing my there you go. My one of my wallpapers on my screen because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Yes, that is your first triple threat. What are your thoughts on all that? Because that's really big.
I'll start with the triple threat thing. I'm shocked it was a tie.
So was I.
I honestly expect the Crossface Label Lock to potentially just waltz its way through to the final and maybe even win the whole thing. It's an odd one. I'm maybe expecting this actually to get broken because I think the people who voted for Hell's Gate are potentially the more traditional, loving the Undertaker type fans on that type of basis. I think they're going to potentially lean towards the Crossface Label Lock in the next one, and I could see that maybe eking out in front. I'm surprised, honestly, the Coquina Clutch got close in that matchup.
So did I.
To go up to the top two, Lion Tamer, Figure 4, like that's a great matchup. I'm glad it was close because they both deserve some respect.
Yeah,
those two moves.
56-44 in that bracket, the closest match, and of course the Sharpshooter Ankle Lock with the same percentage.
And that's an absolute disgusting disgrace. The Sharpshooter is an unbelievable finisher, performed by some of the best wrestlers in the world. Bret Hart, Sting are the biggest two. I'm not going into how bad the Rock's one is.
Damn it.
But those two, those two are so iconic, so great. That move looks painful. Natalia's is shit.
Yeah, we don't want to get to Natalia's. Fair point.
Like the iconic moments, you think back at like Austin passing out at WrestleMania, the Sharpshooter, and how great those moments are. It looks painful. It looks great. Having them reach out through it. The ankle lock makes no sense. It doesn't work as a move. It's rubbish. Like, no one except the jobber has ever tapped out until he falls and locks it on the floor, at which point you go, why didn't you do that in the first place? Why are we bothering with this clamoring around the ring looking like idiots?
Yeah,
all the counters to it look stupid as well. Where it's like, oh yeah, I'll just roll slightly and you'll catapult forwards like 20 feet in the corner of the turnbuckle. Rubbish move. Terrible move. Angle slam, fantastic. Kurt Angle's a wrestler. in my top 5 of all time.
One of the
Love
best. Yeah,
Kurt Angle.
absolutely.
That move can get in the bin. Hate it.
Fair point.
That result is an absolute disgrace to this competition, and
and
anyone who voted for the ankle lock should feel ashamed of themselves in this
Can
round.
I also say, I mean, I think the only person, if to go with your mindset, because I don't mind the move, to go with your mindset of like, you know, how stupid is this move? To this day, and I think he's the only person, Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 20 just smartened up, and in hindsight, everybody should be doing that. Just untie your boots. Untie your boots, because as you're trying to like wiggle out, and as Angle's trying to force you back, yeah, the shoe flies off. It makes sense.
I mean, his
get
grip
out of the
should
lock.
be tight enough to hold the shoe to your foot, but at the same time,
I love Eddie. I think it's
no, Eddie Guerrero is fantastic, but no, my biggest one is just like that. I hate that roll forward counter where they then jump forward into the corner. It happened with Kurt Angle. It happened when Jack Swagger started using the move. It happens when anyone uses that ankle lock, and they crawl around the ring, and the amount of distance they crawl as well in a circle. Just reach out your arm and get one of those ropes. You've crawled a marathon at this point. Grab a rope. Like, come on now.
It's
and from Kurt
true.
Angle's point of view, he waits like 40 seconds and then goes, okay, now I'll lie down on it and make it way more painful, and then they'll tap out. Do it straight away. Are you stupid in this match? I hate that move so much. If it was just the like lock in when you lie down and that ankle grip there, I would like it so much more of a move, but I hate the kind of like holding up and then crawling around on the ring.
Fair point. I mean,
so bad.
I mean, yeah, it did create like a pretty, not an iconic scene, but a decent look at WrestleMania 21 against Shawn Michaels in those.
I love that match.
In those, it's again one of the top 10 Mania matches of all time. But but of course, you know, as soon as Angle gets in the lock and he gets down and HBK's there in agony. I mean, again, it just topped off, like that whole sequence topped off. Obviously an incredible match. So obviously I think it does depend on when and where, but I understand your point and I get it. Like I said, I don't mind the look because I don't mind the move because again, I feel like if my ankle is being twisted, ouch. But I do understand where you're coming from in the sense that yes, just hobble on in, like use your hands, get to the rope and call it a day. And
I just wish the counters were better. I wish there's a better counter than that main one. I think when I look at all of the other ones where I see like the Lion Tamer, like they do the twist out and throw out, I think looks more legit. The crossfaces usually have to actually pull the arm away or something along those lines, or try and stand up with them and pull the weight. Great. To be fair, Cocaine Clutch, I'm surprised got this far. And Hell's Gate as well. Like it's a legit. I find like that MMA move. In MMA, you don't generally see someone like just grab the ankle and then they'll crawl around. No, they will lock it in and
they'll lock it in and make sure they tap. Yeah.
Like is it Uniplata? I think it is the Hell's Gate in the MMA where it's basically like the triangle headlock.
The triangle headlock, yeah.
Yeah, which has
one of those weird names.
Looks
and
pretty legit again. It genuinely looks pretty legit. And I've got no qualms with the Hell's Gate getting this far. I think it's had some great moments. Obviously, WrestleMania 24 is a huge example of it.
One of the biggest,
I know it's like the bleeding from the mouth part where they used to throw it in because it was a period where WWE was getting less and less. Let's do less and less blood. I was like, you looked in the Hell's Gate and they would start like bleeding from the mouth. I was like, actually, that's brilliant. But the ankle lock, just no good reversals, no good things, just nothing in it. Like
so,
if I'm telling you now, if it beats Lion Tamer, I might just leave.
Well. And so you have the Lion Tamer. Who do you have escaping the triple threat?
I think it should be the crossface.
You think it's a crossface? Okay. Well, you get to stay in your seat. You get to relax. There are your final two: the Lion Tamer against the crossface and the bell lock. The label lock, the crossface destroyed both. 60, 20, 20. 60% for the crossface and a 20 each for the Coquina and the Hell's Gate. Again, I thought it would have been a little closer, and by little I mean significantly closer. At the start of the vote at the triple threat, yes, it somehow ended up being neck and neck. And then we actually had, I think, the crossface and the Coquina clutch tied at first, which then one of the house rules that I put in, I was like, I know it's early, but if it holds up, oh my good Lord Almighty.
What can I ask what the hell even happened in this matchup? Because the crossface label lock drew 50-50 with the Coquina clutch. So let's say we had 20 votes, an example. That means 10 voted for each. How the hell has the Coquina clutch now only got 20%? Like,
I don't.
Even if, like, how has the Crossface got more votes now? You've added a third one into the mix, and the Crossface number of votes has actually gone up. Like,
I think
it's like, I guess some of Hell's Gate's people went to the Crossface and went, that's great. But
maybe
the Clutch votes have actually dropped, and they've obviously not gone to Hell's Gate because that's down at 20% as well. But if we had the same 20 people all the way through, we had 10 people vote for the Crossface and 10 vote for the Kakina Clutch in the last round. If we had 20 in this round, we've had 12 vote for the Crossface and 4 vote for the Kakina Clutch and 4 vote for the Hell's Gate. How? This doesn't make any logical sense.
This is the greatest idea
we've happened. Who's changed their mind between this round and last round?
The
And gone,
greatest
actually,
idea.
Kakina Clutch, rubbish. I've changed my mind. It's actually the Crossface. What?
This is the greatest idea we've ever had on the podcast.
What even is that round?
I don't know. That's why I looked at that and I'm like, oh, that is a huge drop and like a big margin. When that made, I mean, I think out of the entire 64, I guess it is it's one of the largest margins. But again, again, when you realize there's a third one in the group, this just makes it even funnier. But there's your final two: the Lion Tamer and the Crossface Label Lock.
Just to also, whoever is in that 33% who still voted the ankle lock ahead of the Lion Tamer, I really want to know why. I really want to know who on earth has part of the ankle lock above the Rings of Saturn. Look at this route it had to take. The people who voted for it over the Rings of Saturn, brilliant move, over the Sharpshooter, and still some of them are still voting for it over the Lion Tamer as well. I really want to know who these people are because you are batshit insane.
Can I say one of our every now and then guest, Alex Mirza, a good friend of ours. He is a huge tournament guy. Like he loves his tourneys, and I feel like this is why he might like his tourneys. I can't blame him, but he's a huge tournament head, and I feel I felt like I should have asked him. I didn't get the chance to ask him to come on today, but I feel like he may have been saying the same thing, or he just would have said, God, I love tournaments. One or the other.
Maybe he'd have also been batshit enough to be like, oh yeah, God, I love the ankle lock. It's by far the best move on here.
Yeah, there's a final two. So I mean, I feel like I can come to the conclusion that this is your right final two, just seeing how everything unfolded.
I think it's a deserving final two.
It is a deserving final two, yeah.
I'm not sure it'd be my personal choice or not, because like I love some of the other moves that even went out really early. I've mentioned I love the Rings of Saturn, I love the Banks statement. I really love the Kimura, which I thought might have done better in this. So even some of the ones I love went out early, but I didn't necessarily expect them to get all the way. These are two that I think are deserving of being in the final. I'd be happy for either of them to win, and not the most unsurprising.
So with that being said, who does join the other three moves next week?
For me, it's a Lion Tamer,
okay.
But I'm not confident at all.
Yeah. What do you think the margin of voting was?
I reckon it's going to be close. I reckon it's about 60-40.
60-40?
One way or the other, 60-40.
Well, let me just double check before I reveal it. It was 63 to 37%. 63 to 37% for the Lion Tamer. The Lion Tamer moves on to the final four. We will get to your full 64 bracket in a bit, but yes, the Lion Tamer escapes the submission division and heads on to the final week of voting, where it joins the 3D, the Stunner, and the GTS. Well, so I like I said at the intro, do you think this was the more entertaining division out of all of them?
I think they've all had their merit. I think a lot of people had a brain fart when it came to the strike division and suddenly thought the GTS was a good move. But and I honestly think the GTS might win again, and it will be the biggest travesty of our generation if the GTS makes the final of the greatest finisher ever. I'll be honest, I'm expecting it to potentially be the GTS versus the Stunner, and I would have loved, that's a dream match and a half, to see CM Punk versus Stone Cold.
Austin, yeah, I was gonna say
but the GTS is a shit move, and it should be nowhere near these.
Let's just take a time to appreciate now that you came up with the idea months ago. It came to fruition, you and Nick, and now it's all filled out. I mean, even though some of the results you're kind of wondering what the hell. I will say personally, I love a good like filled out bracket in any tournament whatsoever, like football / soccer tournament, like hockey tournament, whatever. It's just I don't know. To me, it's eye appealing. It's eye candy to see like an entire bracket, especially if this big, filled out. And now there is our final four. The 3D taking on the Stone Cold Stunner, the GTS taking on the Lion Tamer, and of course, this is where we're going to focus now specifically on the final four there. Tomorrow is the first semifinal, the 3D taking on the Stone Cold Stunner. Saturday, it is the second semifinal, the GTS taking on the Lion Tamer, and this Sunday is our grand finale of voting. And then we will react to the winner next week. And we have a really action-packed week next week. But Pete, just before I think you've already said all you need to say about the final four. Obviously, we're critical about some moves like the GTS, but I think everything else, I think the other three winners do make sense. And I wonder how close of a matchup is going to be. I kind of think that this is where the 3D ends its run, because the Stunner was just so popular in
I think the Stunner is romping.
Yeah, in its division. I mean, again, the 3D is a great move, but with the way that the Stunner dominated its division, I'm expecting it here, in this. And then like you said, I mean, like GTS was obviously the biggest shock, escaping the strike division. Now it's going up against the Lion Tamer. Do CM Punk fans come out and wish they were living back in 2011, 2010, or do they appreciate a good submission?
Do CM Punk fans come out and pretend that CM Punk had a good finisher? Again, I'm good. I will come and say I love CM Punk. I think CM Punk is a great wrestler.
I love CM Punk.
He had some great moments. He had a lot of.
I'm okay with him not coming back, but I think
he's slightly overrated. I'm going to be honest. Not necessarily in like performance. I think in promo wise, he is one of the best of all time. Obviously, in ring wise, I think he is a fantastic wrestler. I think there was a little bit of regard to him as like some people do regard him as the greatest of all time, and I don't think he's on quite that level.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people remember him way more fondly just because of how he left and how he left everything, and because he was this voice against WWE at the time. He was this anarchist. He still is.
To a sense, he still is.
Yeah.
He still is.
There are times where I genuinely think he comes across like a bit of an ass.
I'm all about professionalism, and I think this is where we can safely now just put aside the bracket. Now you already got to look at the final four. Let's go back to us too. Look, I'm all about. I'm all about professionalism, and I'm not. That's to say I'm not perfect. I mean, obviously, there are times where like if my emotions just come after me, or it'll happen. People blow up. It's normal. We're human. It reacts. But yeah, the exit wasn't pretty at all, especially the day after the Royal Rumble. And yeah, sure, you saw that you felt like CM Punk had a bit of an entitlement. Sometimes I think it was warranted. Like I understand his old wrestling. The old wrestling tradition of having a WWE championship close the show, rightfully so. I am 100% on board with that. I get the tradition, especially at WrestleMania, because I'm obviously going to bring up CM Punk, wishing he closed WrestleMania 28 instead of Rock Cena. Again, rightfully so. But I think with Rock Cena, I think WWE also learned their lesson with Rock Hogan 10 years before that. Not that they're on the same level. I'm just saying that I think they understand that if a match is extremely big and has a lot of hype, it needs to close the show, which I 100% respect.
So I think Rock Cena should have closed WrestleMania 28.
I agree. I'm not denying it.
But I think Punk should have been in the main event of WrestleMania 29. And I think that's where he has his right to be.
Absolutely.
You took the belt off me, you put it on Rock just to have Rock Cena too. And
that could have been an easy. That could have been an easy triple threat. I mean, you had the history with Cena there. If The Rock takes
Cena, it could have been anything. If
The Rock takes the title, fine. But CM Punk can obviously fight his way back. And I mean, mind you, ironically, even though Punk didn't get the main event that year at MetLife Stadium, he got Taker, and it was actually I think it was the best match of the night.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Without a doubt. So it's just weird
Just
how things
29, but
worked out.
29 was not a great Mania, and that was a
I'm very aware.
that was a standout of that Mania.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very aware. And again, I reviewed every WrestleMania. Fun fact about me. So again, I get it, but I mean, and not all these years.
I think I've soured on him more and more as it's gone. I think in like the last 2, 3, 4 years almost, where it's almost. Do you know when he came onto like what was it, like the Talking Smack reboot thing that they did?
On WWE on Fox.
On Fox, yeah. And anytime I saw him on things like that, I just thought you just seem overly arrogant about like the past and things like that. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be. I'm not saying he isn't, but it felt a little bit like trying to be controversial in a way when it didn't seem necessary at times. And I think I've just soured more and more. And I think it might just be like as times passed, I've got over missing it and I've got over like him not being there. And
yeah,
it might just be that. But and I think my other thing is I hated like the CM Punk chants and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and I hated those type of things. I hated this kind of, oh, we need CM Punk back. We need this. I was like, you don't need him back.
You don't.
Like, it'd be great. It'd be fine. It'd be lovely if he was, but we don't need it. It's like he wasn't the be all and end all of wrestling.
He wasn't.
I feel like that's how some people treat CM Punk.
Without a doubt.
Be all and end all of wrestling.
I'll say this. Number one, WWE Backstage. The show was WWE Backstage and WWE on Fox. Number two, when he, I mean, yeah, obviously when he popped, when he came out in a surprise, obviously my eyes turned because yes, this is a WWE branded show and he's back. And of course you're going, holy crap. And I thought that, I mean, I thought that was a great platform for him. If he was, I mean, obviously, you know, if the rumors fly, he's going to come back, he's going to come back, not necessarily. And I mean, and if he was, that was a good hybrid. When he had that interview with Renee about, you know, his exit and how he feels, while I do see your point about arrogance, I also felt like he was at peace. Like, I also felt like he also gave up, to me, he gave up the impression that I'm okay if I'm not back. I'm okay if I don't return. And that's totally okay. Yes, I do think the fans ruined it. I do think the fans have just got so toxic and so like obnoxious and I mean, you know, obviously, you know, today and you know, tomorrow night the fans do return to SmackDown, which is obviously exciting on its own. And I mean, at least with that part, obviously, you know, there's not much to say other than it's a relief. But my point is, I'm pretty sure the CM Punk chants are going to come back. I mean, and yeah, sure, is it a nostalgia bit? Maybe, fine, but like, I mean,
again, I want to say there are times when a CM Punk chant is somewhat appropriate. Like when you had like the Authority on Raw and things like that, and you're chanting things at people like Stephanie McMahon, or you're chanting at Vince, or even at Triple H, and these type of people. Like, yes, I can see how a CM Punk chant, yeah, that's fine. Do it in those situations. It's when it's like a normal match and it's like two random wrestlers or a guy's promo for no reason. It's like, get over it. It's not relevant. It's the same with the What chant. Get rid of the What chant. The What chant sucks well. Because Austin made that last four as well. The What chant is like the worst thing in wrestling. Get rid of that. It's crap.
Yeah, I mean, I like the What chants. I do like it, but yes,
they're Austin. Fantastic in Austin's era.
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't make sense when Alexa Bliss is doing it doesn't make sense when Alexa Bliss is doing her promo and all of a sudden, what? Like, just no, that doesn't make sense. Before we wrap up, I do feel like we do need to talk about a small little thing that's happening this weekend. And no, I'm not talking about the return of fans. No, I'm not talking about Impact's Slammiversary. We are talking about the event that, you know, weirdly enough, the CM Punk was really made his name. It is Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Sorry, I don't know why I went that high pitch. Money in the Bank. I do not know. Money in the Bank is happening this Sunday live on the WWE Network. Of course, the return of fans. And obviously, you know, we felt like we had to say something. We had to say something because obviously this is the time where like two superstars will have their careers or storylines altered with that beautiful Money in the Bank briefcase. Of course, if you don't know what the Money in the Bank briefcase is, it is a briefcase that hangs high above the ring and competed for in a ladder match. Inside the briefcase is a championship opportunity for either a Raw or SmackDown women's opportunity for the women, and then of course for the men, a WWE Championship or Universal opportunity, a contract championship opportunity for the next 12 months. I could not have said that any worse. We do need to talk about that. The championship matches. I mean, look.
Both champs are retaining. Move on.
Yeah, with the top titles. Yeah, as much as I love Edge, he ain't gonna beat Roman. I will cry if he does. In the WWE Championship, do you really think Kofi King is gonna become a 2-time champ? Probably not. With SummerSlam around the corner, hell no. AJ Styles and Omos, they'll probably retain their tag titles against the Viking Raiders. And Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, well, they've both been boring since WrestleMania. Of course, what we do want to talk about is the Money in the Bank ladder participants. Let us start with the females, because ladies first. Chivalry. Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, or she's not Nikki Cross anymore. She's
Nikki Ash.
Well, that's new to me. Liv Morgan, returning Selena Vega, Natalia, because that's how thin the women's division is, that you need to throw in one half of your women's tag champion. You don't even throw the other half. You throw in her. And still a surprise entrant waiting to be revealed for Money in the Bank. And of course, this is where people are getting excited, and they think that it could be Becky. They're saying that it could be a returning Sasha, and then whoever that is, one of those two is the one that wins the ladder match. Number one, I pray to God, and this is not for the reason you think, I will be furious, and I mean furious, if it is Becky and she wins it. I'm gonna be pissed. And again, and that's not because I don't love Becky. I do miss Becky. Obviously, I'm a person that says family first, and, let her take care of her baby. She has a daughter. I'm pretty sure that family comes first, and I'm not going to be that dick on social media that says, oh, bring her back like a week after she gave birth. You stupid fucks.
Quite a lot longer than a week now. But
I know it. I'm just saying, I know it's been a lot longer than a week, but as soon as she gave birth, everybody was ready to have Becky back. And I'm like, can you just let her be a mom? I'm pretty sure she wants to be a mom first. And Seth is already on camera anyway, so let Becky do a thing. But if she's ready to come back, she's ready to come back. Now, Becky's a big name. Becky's too huge. You do not give Becky this briefcase. Instead, you are immediately get her in the championship picture. And maybe even if you want a story, you cash in on her. But you do not give her that briefcase. Hell no. Sasha Banks, it makes sense for Sasha. She can get off the heel persona, cash in, call it a day. I see her doing cashing in. But if I had to pick a winner, and I want to say I'll be shocked, but then again, it's WWE. I'm kind of expecting Liv Morgan to win this Money in the Bank briefcase. They've been pushing her well. Shut up! They've been pushing her well. She was like on the main front on SmackDown throughout this whole briefcase thing. I kind of see it. I don't think it'll be Zelina. Sure as hell don't think it'll be Naomi, Asuka, or Natalia. Nor do I think it's any of those. So my pick would be either Liv or Sasha. Pete?
Yeah, so pick up on the Becky Lynch point. Like, if I was going to return Becky Lynch, and I'm not saying she's not going to return the show, but if I was going to do it, I would have her come in the post Rhea Ripley and Charlotte match and just
exactly. It has to be post match. It's not
come
the
out and challenge either of them. Doesn't matter. She should have an automatic rematch clause considering she literally gave up the title to leave to have a baby. If she's ready to come back, that's fine. Maternity leave is usually about this long. So
it is. I'll give them that.
She might be on the way. It might be SummerSlam. Who knows? If she is, she's ready. If she's not, she's not.
It's been more than a year, has it not? Right?
WWE said this. I think she gave birth just before Christmas-ish time, October, November.
It was around there, and then
it's been about 9 months, I think.
Yeah, I mean, she announced a pregnancy in May, when the Money in the Bank ladder match happened last year in the corporate building. Let's ignore that one. So I'll give fans that. Yes, it is. It has been enough time. I'm just saying that I just hated people that are just so desperate and eager, and and again, like my mindset is family first. My mindset is, well, what if I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm like, what if Becky never wants to return and she just wants to be a mom, right? So like,
taking the personal reason out of the way, she just doesn't need that briefcase.
She does not
just walk in and get a title shot. It reminds me of Brock Lesnar winning it. It reminds me of John Cena winning it. It's all these type of things where like these people do not need that briefcase whatsoever because they can just ask for a title match and get one.
Excuse me, sir. Yes, one championship opportunity, please. Thank you.
But in reality, I I think Liv Morgan's not an impossibility. I think she could, but I'm not sure WWE are quite as on board as the fans are with a Liv Morgan push right now.
See, here's the problem.
The ones I think are going to win it, I think the TBA is by far the biggest favorite in this match by a mile, whether that's Becky Lynch, whether it's Sasha Banks, or the person who I think it's going to be, and that is Sonya Deville.
Ooh, that would be good. I like that a lot.
And I love the idea of Sonya entering herself in this match, winning the briefcase, and then just being the authority figure backstage, holding the briefcase and being like, look, yeah, I've given you a title match, but just remember, I can just come and win that title whenever you want.
I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, I actually want that more. I really want that.
Storytelling.
I really want that.
That's how I'd book it anyway. I'd have Sonya Deville win this match.
Yeah. I think there were rumors about like Sonya Deville teasing an in-ring return again.
Where those rumors I can see winning it is Alexa Bliss, and them going back and them using that as a way to maybe move her away from being a little bit like cartoonishly evil and move her back to being just evil.
I mean, I
still think this might be one of those situations where if I was going to book Alexa Bliss to win it, I would take her out of this like schoolgirl evil doll stuff and get rid of Lily, get rid of all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not against her still being evil superpower person. And if I was going to do it, I would have her come out in her childish persona, whatever it is, get the shit kicked out of her, go off injured, lights go down later in the match, come back on, she's in her, do you know that get up she basically had at Mania?
Yeah, with the Fiend and all that,
yeah, come back as that and be on top of the ladder when that happens. I'm not against that. I'm not against moving Alexa Bliss back because, to be honest, that Raw Women's division just needs something.
They need something.
The SmackDown's Women's division is thin.
You know what I'm going to say?
Actually has stories. The Raw's Women's division is just a travesty right now.
I'm going to say both of them are just in the gutter right now, and that's why I'm kind of hoping that it's not a Sasha Banks or an Asuka winning this money. Well, Asuka would be a 2-time Money in the Bank winner, women's Money in the Bank winner. I don't need any of that because this needs a refresh, and it needs a refresh bad. And mind you, Alexa Bliss would become a 2-time winner as well.
I'm also I think it could happen because they might try to rush a refresh, but I don't want them to cash in on the same night.
Well, and that's the other issue too. Since Carmella,
since
Carmella, they're like with the women's division, with the women's Money in the Bank, both you had Carmella winning and had that incredible Money in the Bank run, and then capping off after WrestleMania, the SmackDown after WrestleMania 34. But then Bayley and Alexa Bliss both cashed in on the same night. And then, of course, Asuka won it the next night on Raw because Becky had a baby. Becky was going to have a baby.
I'm going to be honest, I still really dislike that. Like, it was a great, lovely, caring moment and stuff. And like, oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
you may as well. In terms of wrestling, I was like, that's just shit. But, I mean, lovely moment for Becky, lovely in the moment, all that kind of thing.
Sure.
But the more I thought back on it, I was like, what a waste of a Money in the Bank brief.
Yeah, and I feel like you could have transferred the title onto Shayna Baszler Mania 36, and then have the Money in the Bank winner cashed in on Shayna, but it didn't happen.
So I'm very much in the TBA corner. I think whoever the mystery person is going to win this, whether it is Becky, whether it is Sasha, whether it is Sonya Deville, whether it's someone else. I just think WWE have promised surprises this weekend, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Sunday, and I think one of them is going to be John Cena coming back, but.
I would like that. I do miss Cena.
I heard someone say that he's going to in the men's match though, and I really hope that's not the case because that would be
in the men's Money in the Bank match.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about that right now. Actually,
Brock Lesnar it.
Yay! Let's go into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, King Nakamura. I love that. And Seth Rollins. Of course, Seth Rollins beating out Cesaro last week on SmackDown, which of course I'm still pissed about because I wanted Cesaro to win this match. I don't need Rollins in this match. I don't need Rollins with it. I don't need Rollins in this match. I don't need Rollins. I don't need Rollins with another opportunity to become a Money in the Bank winner. He also become a 2-time. Drew McIntyre in this match is a joke as well because you had that whole thing with Bobby Lashley, and I can totally see WWE trying to once again force feed the fans. Guys, we really want you to like Drew McIntyre. You liked them at the 2020 Royal Rumble. Now you guys are back. You didn't get to appreciate what happened. Take him. That would piss me off a lot. Ricochet. bless his soul. He's just there for the flips. Like, oh, bless his soul. He's not there for anything much.
He's there to jump off the ladder.
He's there to jump off the ladder. I'm warming up to Riddle, despite how much I'd rather not. I'm slowly warming up to the guy, but because I think the thing is Randy is just, it does get me to chuckle. Like the fact he's going to do it for Randy.
He might cash it in on the tag titles,
which
I hate.
Oh no! Oh my God, Riddle. Okay, no, okay. Fuck Riddle. Big E. I still don't see the narrative of people wanting to see Big E with the world title. The narrative still throws.
I'm fully on board with Big E winning this.
I see it. I see it too, and
I'm much more on board with him winning the Money in the Bank briefcase than with him winning the world title right now.
Sure. My winner is Kevin Owens. My winner is Kevin Owens. King Nakamura, you got the King of the Ring. You're fine. My winner is Kevin Owens here. I would like to see Kevin Owens win this thing. I don't know. Huh? You wouldn't like it?
I'd love it.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either. And again, like with Kevin Owens, like I think he would be a great Money in the Bank, a great Mr. Money in the Bank. I can't talk today.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a really great Mr. Money in the Bank. Big E, I guess, would be my runner-up, but I'm worried. I am legitimately worried that it's going to be Rollins or McIntyre, and then the crowd is going to be unbelievably pissed. Your second day back with fans, and then did that. I'm going to be furious because this is, if Drew wins this is what they tried to do with Roman Reigns. It's like, guys, this is your face. This is the guy you want to. We want you to cheer. You need to cheer for this guy. Fans have already begun turning on him. Like after, I think in his last championship match, fans were like, "Why is Drew getting another opportunity? Why is this happening?" And then the way that he lost at Hell in a Cell, again, I mean, mind you, I was happy that he lost because I don't need to see another title reign on him. It's just I am worried that they're turning on him. And as soon as Drew was announced for the Money in the Bank, you see the comments on social media. Why? This is not right. We're tired of Drew, and it sucks because Drew is not Roman. Drew is.
The issue with the Drew thing is it's the forcing down the throat again. But no one can criticize Drew in terms of saying he's not great on the mic. No one can criticize him saying he's not put everything in the ring or everything in his runs.
No, it's true.
Absolute all. The issue is it comes back to that Becky thing again. He does not need it.
He doesn't need it.
He can literally walk out in a month's time and go, "I'm next in line for this title," and everyone go, "Yeah, that makes sense."
But people don't want that anymore. That's
fine. Give him a little bit of a break. Let him have a feud I don't give a crap with. Just let him do something, T-Fed. My big issue in this match is, who do you put in this match from Raw other than the people who were in it? Because this shows me how bad the Raw mid-card looks right now. Because
everything is a disaster.
It should be AJ Styles, but AJ Styles in a tag team match. It could have been Matt Riddle and Randy Orton, but they're in their tag team, which makes me not want Matt Riddle to win. Like, Keith Lee's obviously disappeared. The Raw mid-card, and this is what I mean. You look at the SmackDown competitors who are in this, and it is Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Nakamura, and Big E. And you've left out people who could legit be in there, like Sami Zayn, Cesaro, could easily also be in this match and be excellent. That shows how much depth there was in SmackDown, because I think all 6 of those are deserving of being in this match.
Sure.
And they're not. And honestly, I think Matt Riddle could win this. But realistically, the 4 Raw people aren't. Like, I hope Ricochet's in there for the spot. John Morrison is John Morrison at this point. But what I am going to point out, though, very quickly, looking at the 8 competitors in this match, and the talent in this match, I genuinely believe this could be like the best Money in the Bank match ever, in terms of actual match quality.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's
unbelievable.
I mean, for the most part, I think these matches do deliver. I don't really have one where I point out where it says, "Oh my God, what the hell is this ladder match?"
There's some very average ones.
Probably, but I think average is still decent. Like, it's not like there hasn't been any.
The one Sheamus one was pretty rubbish, and
okay, maybe I guess there are a few that you can say they're rubbish. I don't know. To me, I like a ladder match, and it should be fun. But
some bad finishes to some of these ladder matches, i.e., Brock Lesnar.
See, again with that Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, I just remember like the old group chat that you and I were in, and I just remember somebody being just so like legitimately pissed off, and I'm just laughing away. I'm like, this is.
I was pissed off at it.
I mean, Yeah, no, I mean, it was infuriating, but I mean, I'm just laughing. I'm like, I can't believe they actually did this. And I mean, obviously Brock Lesnar hurt a camera guy in the process as well. I was laughing. I'm like, and I mean, mind you, everybody likes a Brock party. It ain't a party without a Brock party.
Right. But, it's the same reason I don't want Cena to suddenly enter himself in this match and win it. It's just
I don't see Cena going. I mean,
there's three realistic winners for me in this match, and Drew McIntyre is not one of them. I do not think they're going to give it to Drew. I think they'll have heard that and realized it. I think it's Matt Riddle.
Yep.
Which I don't want to see, and I honestly think Matt Riddle might be the favorite to win this match at this point. I think it's Big E, which I am very for. I'm 100%. I'm down with Big E, and it's Seth Rollins. And I'm not against Seth Rollins like you are winning this match, because he's been out of the title picture for coming up 2 years now, which is generally my cut-off point of how long you have to have been away from the title before I can accept actually it's a route back into the title picture.
Fair.
He's a heel, and I quite like
a Money in the
Bank, the Money in the Bank contract. Yeah. I think it works better. Not necessarily the cash in itself, but the actual storyline with them holding it. I think WWE might look back and go, when is realistically the last good Money in the Bank holder we've had? And it's Seth Rollins. And they might think, you know what? We had Otis last year. That was dreadful. We had Braun Strowman before that. That was dreadful. The Brock Lesnar thing was a failure. The Baron Corbin thing was an absolute disgrace. Ambrose cashed it in within, like, on that night. Sheamus was dreadful.
I did think that the last proper Money in the Bank winner was Ambrose. It's time for like a decent winner, I'd say. Again, like,
Ambrose cashed in on that night. Again, didn't actually hold the briefcase.
See, like, again, like, my issue with Rollins winning this is, like, for me, the Money in the Bank ladder match should be an opportunity for somebody new to enter to be elevated, whether they've been a former champion before or not. This is the time where you like, this is supposed to elevate somebody. That's why I don't think Rollins needs it, because he already was elevated with this briefcase and has the best cash in of all time. Nobody is going to top that cash in.
I agree, but I think he has arguably the most intriguing storyline and storytelling that can come from him.
Sure, but do I want
with Roman holding the belt, him on SmackDown, the rumored match is going to be Edge versus Rollins at SummerSlam as well.
At SummerSlam, yeah.
Which I think leads into that, and him getting back in towards that title picture. You can beat Roman, but I can. I've got the belt and I've got the briefcase,
and you got the briefcase, yeah.
And I honestly, I think Seth could do some great work with it, and I know he can do great work with it. He has in the past. I'm not saying he's my favorite. I think Big E is my big favorite. That I would. Sorry, Kevin Owens is probably my favorite to win it, but like that I want to win it.
Fair.
But of realistic winners, I think it's Big E. It would be my preferred choice.
Fair point.
Of realistic winners, I'd probably say Seth Rollins is my second. Like, that I would be okay with, and it is purely because yes, it's probably going to get a negative reaction, but at the same time, he is a heel, and
it works out.
He's meant to be conniving, and to be honest, he's had a storyline going in. He's had the stuff with Cesaro building it and go, look, I'm better than you. I can win these things. You can pick back that up. You can go into the feud with Edge and lead that into Roman. The history of the Shield is still there, and go, Ambrose once cashed in on me. I'm going to cash in on Roman. You can do those type of things. I've cashed in on the main event of WrestleMania. Look, I've got it again. Who knows what I can do with this?
Who knows what you can do? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'm going back with WWE after how bad the Otis run was with the Money in the Bank.
They need something. They need a massive bounce back. They need a
good run. They need someone to hold this case for.
They need a good run from both angles, from both sides. They need a really, really good run.
But the men's will we get it? So long since we've had it, and I think they want that 3 to 6 month reign of someone holding it that can viably cash in at any point, is believable. They can trust holding the belt at the end of it as well. And I think the right choice is Big E, but I think they might, and I wouldn't even mind Big E then moving to Raw and being like, oh, Lashley took out Kofi and that, but I'm back now and I'm coming for it. That could be a great storyline. There's loads of stuff they can do.
Lots of stuff. What I think could happen is, I think I wouldn't be surprised if one of the surprises is a same night cash in, which is gonna suck, which I'm gonna be pissed out about. And of course, I can totally see the executives at USA be like, why? Like, let's say like both winners are from SmackDown. And you can totally hear USA, why the hell is Fox and everything? I can totally see one of them being drafted because there is a projected draft coming in October, apparently. And so I think that's even more reason why we can justify a long reign, because you have a Money in the Bank winner jump ship. Now, I don't know if the rule of you have to cash in on your respective brand champion is still in effect, which is stupid because you should be able to go anywhere around like a Royal Rumble winner.
Imagine someone cashing on draft night though. That'd be fun.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. But that's all gonna unfold.
Yeah, I think my issue with them saying, "Oh, we could cash in on the same night and stuff." Now, it's happened too much recently, and that's the issue. When like it first happened, I think like was it Kane who was the first?
It was Kane. It was Kane.
And then I think they didn't do it again until Ambrose. If I'm right on that, I think
Ambrose. Right. It sounds right.
But then they've done it again. They've done it with Bailey. They've done it with Alexa Bliss, and now Asuka's won it 2 nights.
Back-to-back years. So
yeah,
you can
then Asuka's
say
won it like 2 nights later.
You can say a three-peat of like same night, next day layovers
on the women's brand. Possible. Yeah, and it's just so basically, what 2017 is the only year where we haven't had like an immediate cash-in of one of
that was Corbin, was it not? And who failed it?
Corbin and Carmella, but Carmella was obviously
Carmella had the great run.
Carmella had a great run with that briefcase. I really enjoyed like I even liked the Ellsworth shit that was going on. I'm not gonna turn against it. I honestly didn't think that was that bad, but I just want to see both briefcases treated with some damn respect
for, so do I.
For at least a few months. Like maybe cash one in a couple of months' time, cash one in 6-7 months' time. That's fine. I just don't want an immediate cash in.
Neither do I. And I mean, like I said, we'll see what happens. There's I had a point I was gonna make. Jack Swagger cashing in the next night over. That could be your first immediate cash in from WrestleMania 26. On that note, we do have to take off for the day here because well, we just have to wrap up the show. Pete, thank you again as always. We will. So what is going to happen next week? We are going to have 2 separate episodes. I think it's fair. We will have a Money in the Bank Fallout, which will be episode either 59 or will probably 59, and then our tournament results we'll have it in a separate episode, which means I believe we're going to label those as episodes 59 and 60. Which ones we'll do, I believe, is going to be Money in the Bank first, and then the results of the greatest finisher ever. So I think that'll be our episode 60. So look out for that next week. So Pete, thank you as always, and of course this is where we get back to me. So there's going to be a lot of more feature content next week. But yes, stay tuned for our Money in the Bank Fallout, and of course the results of the greatest finisher ever. So yes, get out one more time. One more weekend, vote for who you think is going to be the greatest finisher. Like I said, 3D taking on the Stone Cold Stunner is this Friday. The GTS taking on the Lion Tamer on Saturday, and the grand finale is this Sunday. But for now, all I can say is just that. Thank you so much for watching. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, available wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. I'm Jose Tawada. Enjoy Money in the Bank, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.